Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) Dauda Alibiu has tasked commanding officers to ensure full deployment of staff for maximum visibility, prompt removal of obstruction and ease of movement on all highways across the country. This is in line with the operational guidelines of the year's Easter Special Patrol scheduled to commence from 29 March to 2nd April 2024. As contained in the operation order, the objectives of the special operations are reduction in road traffic crashes, road traffic fatalities and road traffic injuries, prompt response to road traffic crash victims, unhindered engagement in purposeful public education and speedy removal of obstructions from the highways, amongst others. Dauda Alibiu assured members of the public that in achieving the objectives of the special operations, the Corps will combine the engagement of the motoring public through purposeful and impactful public education programs, strengthening of surveillance activities to regulate unprofessional excesses, sustained effective patrol operations, as well as adequate monitoring on the highways. Against this backdrop, Nigeria Today will examine safety during Easter and the security implications. Thanks for joining us. I am Ikeria Clinton. Welcome. Joining us in the studio tonight is a Deputy Corps Commander, Honey Ogundayo, DCC Corps Public Education Office, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC. Thanks for joining us on Nigeria Today. It's good to have you again.
Thank you.
And also with us here is Dr. Joshak Habila. He's a retired Deputy Inspector General of Police and also a security expert. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'll start with you, Honey. Of course, we are aware of the 2024 Easter Special Patrol Corps Marshal's directive on strategic deployment of personnel for, enhanced visibility and ease of movement. So how will this play out?
Thank you. Let me first of all appreciate Nigerians for cooperation with us because what we have seen in the past few festive period is that when we talk to them, they usually listen to us. And this one will not be a different one because Corps Marshal has tasked all commanding officers to deploy all men, even our special marshals and all our stakeholders. We don't want to be seeing accidents, road traffic crashes on the road. And this is the reason for this special deployment. In every festive season, we do what we call special operations. So this one we're going to be starting on the 29th of March to 2nd of April. And bearing this in mind, I talked about the staff that have been deployed. Then we also have 749 patrol vehicles that have been deployed, 144 motorbikes, we have 92 ambulances, we have 23 tow trucks, we have all the things you can think of. We have extricating machines. We have everybody at alert
to ensure that we have a safe Easter celebration.
Yes.
Now, Doc, having heard what she said, coincidentally, apart from the Easter celebration, we're also in the Ramadan season. Yes. And of course, what is associated with these seasons. So what are some of the security concerns that one should be aware of, during this period?
Yes, I think in planning to ensure that there's safety during this period, they must have taken into consideration some of the security challenges that we've been having. In other words, it's very, very evident that there are some very, very bad criminal gang within almost all the roads and all the cities. And so in doing that, it means that we're going to focus all those that are on duty and deployed. They must realize the fact that watch out for those who would want, to create fear and apprehension. In other words, people could be dispossessed of their properties on the road or even kidnapped. And so I think that coming from what we've seen, and from what the Federal Road Safety with other security agencies. I think I've seen a lot of planning from the police and others that there must be visibility in all the roads, and there are also some plans for other security agencies that are not obviously seen. People, some of them that would want have some kind of decoy. In other words, watching out, but not looking like part of the system of the security, so that they can get people while planning and want to execute, instead of the incident happening and then we open ourselves and to going and trying to run for them. I mean, trying to go after them. So what I think is that what has happened in a few days have kept every security agencies on his feet, and we expect that there's going to be a very good activities and coordination that will prevent these criminals that will come to try to either kidnap or snatch vehicles, or those of them that will be drunk and then drive carelessly and create problem for the country.
Okay, now back to you, Hani. You talked about visibility. What exactly are you talking about when you say visibility?
You see, what I'm trying to say is that our men, they are everywhere. Almost, they are even on all roads. And based on what he has just said, we are collaborating with all the friendly forces, the military, the police, the immigration, the civil defense corps. You know, all the friendly forces, we are collaborating with them to have a safe road, because we know that during this festive period there's going to be high vehicular movement, and you know, and most of the time we also realize that we have so much crashes during festive period. Though we need to demystify the fact that maybe it's during festive periods that we have crashes on the road, but it's because of the high vehicular movement and the attitude of people. You know, everybody is always in a rush. I want to make much money. I want to go 2 trips, 3 trips at the same time. So what we try to tell people that this particular period is a period that everybody needs to go and calm down when they are going on the road, and be very sensitive based on what he has said. We also thought of the security aspect of it. That's why we are collaborating with our other sister agencies to ensure safety on the road.
Okay, having said that, you've talked about what the security agencies are doing to ensure that, you know, we don't have accidents on the way and we are safe on the way. So give us some safety tips that drivers, the users, road users should also, you know, be mindful of.
Okay, part of the things that we are looking at is making calls on the road. You know that we have many people, when they are driving, they'll be making calls. It's not good. It used to lead to so many crashes. Then lane indiscipline. You move from one lane to the other, just, you know, at times what we call one way. Some people ply, you know, facing the opposite side, facing the wrong direction. Then we look at mechanical deficient vehicles. You know, many people want to travel this time and they've not been working on their vehicles, they've not been servicing their vehicles. Many things are wrong with the vehicle. Some people don't have even wipers. Side mirrors are not there. They don't have fire extinguishers. So all these things we are looking at, because all these things, some people may feel that it's a small thing. Somebody that can have money to buy a vehicle should also have money to buy a fire extinguisher. So all these things we look together at this, you know, brake system. The brakes must be working. Not that until you get to the road you discover that your braking system is faulty or you don't have extra tire. So all these things we are going to be looking at them.
Okay. Now I'll come back to you. Now, Doc, there's this you know, this concern that we kind of tend to glide over. You know, a friend of mine once told me that within this period, especially, he is a Muslim. He said within this period that they're usually high, you know, kind of people coming around to PIFA, because, you know, after breaking fasts, a lot of persons are so weak that when they hit the bed, they are off. And criminals seize the opportunity to do one or two things. So what can individual citizens do to avoid being victims of these criminals?
Yes, every citizen here in this country, particularly during this period, must be very watchful and must also take away their thinking on some of the things that will put them into trouble. There are those of them that who want to make a trip, say from here to Kaduna or from here to Jos. These individuals will, break the movement, break the trip by seeing some of the things they want to consume. There's those of them who sit to terminate the journey and sit to take some things like meat, pepper soup, palm wine, and then take off again without knowing that time is of essence. And while they are, trying to present themselves in most places by stopping to do one or two things, they've given themselves up, because sometimes they tend to let the people know that they have money. They also tend to let the people know that they don't know what security is. And so the advice is that as you set for a journey, you must be at alert. You must not necessarily, begin to stop to do so many things. And if you do that, we're going to reduce the issue of incidences of rather attack and snatching of vehicles and accident and what have you to the barest minimum.
What of being a victim in your own house?
Victim in your house, it is always very, very important that you start from the house. If you are at home, there must be deliberate attempt to ensure that your doors are secured in the sense that the ones that are not to be used. You must also ensure too that you have an eagle eye to check for people who might be seen around your place, and these are people you don't know. You can challenge, you can ask questions. And so when you are at home, you must make sure that particularly your doors, the windows, and individuals that are around there must be the people that you know. If you don't, you have to question. Because if you don't do that, there could be incident of either coming to attack, either coming to steal, and all of this. I think Nigerians are very, very aware now that you have to also look at security and ensure that things that will make you safe anywhere is what you should do. And I think a lot of them are beginning to realize that. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take a short break now and listen to some Nigerians on the street and they speak about the issue at stake, talking about safety during Easter period.
Yes.
Don't go away.
Concerned about the security of Nigeria, because whilst people are traveling, we also should ensure that we have people handling the security sector to be very, how do I put it? I mean, they can't be compromised, because I have been going around Abuja and its metropolis. I can see that lots of the road mounts and the roadblocks, the guys there, they sort of try to extort people, especially when you're coming from abroad. So I believe these things need to be addressed. Well, this goes like straight to the security guys, the guys in charge of security. Put some sort of awareness out there, even beforehand. There should be jingles.
Assure safety by deploying security everywhere to see everywhere is calm, because if I can remember, it's only Catholics that do observe Easter very well. They don't celebrate Christmas or New Year, but they don't play with Easter, because they observe the resurrection of Jesus Christ, His crucifixion, and the ascension. So I am urging the security personnel to deploy their men so that everywhere in Abuja is going to become and calm. So
if you are driving, drive safely, don't drink and drive. If you are traveling, be very careful because of kidnapping. Nobody really knows what to do to prevent kidnapping and banditry in the country now. But we are just praying that God should protect everyone, you know. But just be watchful and ensure that you enter a registered transport company. And when you are spending money, things are hard, cost of things are very high. You have to ensure that you do not spend to an extent that you will not be able to pay school fees. By the time I enter next session, you will not be able to come and get stranded. You know, be careful with your expenses. Be rational about your expenses. Ensure that the goods you want to buy is very vital to the family before you spend money on it. Otherwise, you may come back and start blaming the government for not doing the best. Meanwhile, you have overspent more than your income.
It's usually a time that people go to public places to celebrate, and with the situation in the country now, there are a lot of hardship around. So I'm thinking we won't see that kind of gathering this much, so there will be no cause for alarm. That's what I just think, because there are a lot of things on every Nigerian's mind now than causing chaos or causing mayhem.
Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today. We are looking at safety during Easter, and I have with me a lady and a gentleman here in the studio. Now, honey, there's also an issue, you know, that I think you should also throw more light on, talking about fatigue. You know, because this period, as much as we are getting ready for the Easter, this is also a Lenten period where people fast. Also Ramadan period, people are fasting, and a lot of people are, you know, usually fagged out, always tired. You know, what role does fatigue play in, you know, in accident, and how can one, you know, try to manage, you know, drowsiness during driving, when driving, really?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first of all talk about even drunk driving. You know, we have seen that most people during this particular period, they like maybe to go and take to all these roadside people that are selling herbs and take some shots according to them, so that they say one for the road, so that when they want to drive, they want to shine their eyes. And we advise them that this is not right. So that one can lead to fatigue. And after driving for a long period of time, maybe you are traveling, we advise that after every 4 hours, try to rest your leg. Come out of your vehicle after parking at a very safe place, because we see that most people, they will say, I can do it. You know, fatigue, you cannot rule it out after driving for a long time. That's why we advise at the same time that even you can even have 2 drivers in a vehicle. It may not even be up to 4 hours. If you know that you are feeling sleepy, you know, we are humans, you are feeling sleepy, you are not feeling comfortable, you can just park at a safe place and rest for about 15 minutes before you continue with the journey. And people that are also traveling far, you know, they did not plan their journey. You want to get to a particular place, maybe you are going to maybe like Oyo State, and you want to get there by, let's say, by 4, and you are just leaving your house by maybe 10, 12. How do you think you can get there by 4? So that one leads me to what I will say excessive speed. And this one can also cause a lot of crashes on the road. We have seen this, or a vehicle that is overloaded, or a vehicle that is mechanically deficient. So, but this fatigue we are talking about, please don't drink. Make sure you have rested well before you start your journey.
Okay.
Yes.
What if you are maybe you fasted and you're tired?
And some people, they are even on drugs. I mean, normal drugs, maybe malaria drugs. It's not advisable that they drive at that particular time. You know, you might be feeling drowsy, because driving is 100% concentration. Don't let anything take away your concentration. Don't let fatigue, even it's part of it. If it's not a must to drive at this particular period, so if you know that your strength cannot carry it, please just rest at home. It's better.
Okay. Now, Doc, we've talked so much about the security agencies. Now, we also know that we are in an era of technology.
Yes.
Okay. So how can, you know, we leverage? How can technology be leveraged to enhance safety and security? You know.
Yes. In terms of other security equipment that can be put around the areas where people trespass. When you talk about other equipments, we're trying to say places of entertainment and recreation must have some cameras to be able to pick up some of the activities that's going on. In other words, if there's an incident of an infraction on this on the security, then from there you can get it right and who did what. And so that is very important. While the officers, the men, all the security agencies are on the road, the Federal Road Safety is the lead agency in terms of road maintenance and road safety. And so in doing that, also they have vehicles, they have communication, they should have very good communication equipment, and also be ready to also assist those of them that will be in trouble. If there's an accident, they should be able to have what it takes to to evacuate to the hospital for immediate attention. And also where vehicles are broken down, they should be able to have a tow van that could take them off the street and put them outside a safe place. So there are a lot of things that are involved in ensuring security when it comes to movement of vehicles and humans in a situation where there is a festivity. I think they've done that. And I also think that they should also be able to to find out those that are driving and they're drunk. You could see it even when they're driving. They should be able to chase them out and terminate the journey, and then insist that they don't go further. And if we do that, then we're likely to have a check and balances on our road and with our commuters.
Okay, now, honey, are there cultural or religious practices that can impact our safety?
I don't think there should be any. That's why I'm talking about this issue of fasting. You know that if you are fasting and you are weak, definitely you'll be weak. That's why we tell people that try as much as possible. If you have to get an extra driver, please do that. Then concerning the journey per se, just like the other guests have talked about, we have deployed these digital breathalyzers to discover people that are drunk so that we can terminate the journey. And also people that people that enter these trailers. Trailers is not to carry passengers, to carry humans. It's to carry only goods and animals. But what we have seen is that people will carry humans together with animals and goods, and this one has caused a lot of crashes on the road. So even the commercial Dauda Alibiu has deployed some technology to discover these things. If you see a men on the road, they are with camera, body cam, they go with the camera. Then we also have a center where we see all the things that is happening on the road. Aside that, we have a dedicated number, because we know that we cannot be at every place at the same time, because that's why we say road safety is everybody's responsibility. We have a dedicated line.
That brings me to my next question. What is the role of community, we as citizens? What is our role in also assisting the road safety and the other security agencies to ensure that we are safe? Because we are talking about our lives here.
Thank you very much. What we also tell people, that if you see something, say something. And we know that that's why we have all these our other sister agencies and other collaborators, our stakeholders. We have the special marshals, we have all other people working with us, we have the road safety club. So that when we tell people that when you are going on the road, in case you meet with any crash, and probably because we want our response time is very short, just like 5 minutes, we want to be at a particular scene of an accident so that we can rescue those people to the hospital. Because in case of any crash, what we ask is, we don't ask who is right again, we ask who is left, so that we can quickly rush them to the hospital. So what we tell the public is that when you are going, you see any such of a crash, please call this number 122. It's a toll-free line. Then if you call it, if you call the number, either you are in Abuja, you call the number, or either you are in Ibadan, you call the number, it will get to our call center at Abuja, and the nearest command will be contacted.
122.
Yes,
toll-free number. So don't forget to call the number in case of any emergency, right?
Yes.
Good. Now, with that note, we wrap up today's episode of Nigeria Today. A very big thank you to the Deputy Corps Commander Honey Ubundayo, BCC, Corps Public Education Office, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming. And also Dr. Joshua Kabila is a retired Deputy Inspector General of Police and also a security expert. Thank you for your time and
Thank
your
you
contribution.
For having me.
And thank you for being part of the program. Don't forget, Nigeria Today is weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also check out this episode and others on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. Once again, thank you for watching. I am Eukaria Clinton. Goodbye.